Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be, you are always trying to fix the relationship. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So when you were in the narcissistic relationship, one thing you were doing, and you were doing a lot of things. One thing is you were trying to always fix the relationship. You were trying to repair it. Now, when you were in that relationship, you had two people. One, you, a kind, loving, empathetic, stable, healthy individual. The other person, the narcissist, somebody trying to puncture holes in that relationship. And every time the narcissist would lay on the gas pedal of abuse, or would manipulate you, or triangulate you, or ghost you, or give you the silent treatment, etc., you would be thinking to yourself, who would do this? Who would do something like this to perhaps their own child, or their romantic interest, or their mom, dad, or coworker or friend? Well, a toxic narcissist would do it, because these are the tools of the narcissist. But back then you didn't know what narcissism was. You didn't know that people could behave this way regularly, and that is how they live day to day, week to week, month to month. They don't change. They only deteriorate over time. And when you were trying to fix the relationship back then, you most likely were oversharing information to the narcissist about your aspirations, your hopes, your dreams, like what you wanted to get out of that relationship. And when you were doing that, you were giving them the keys to abuse you more and more. You see, when you would complain to them or share with them your viewpoints that they weren't keeping their end of the bargain, and I don't use the word complaint frequently, but sometimes you had to mention certain things to them to get them to understand what was going on. We now know that wasn't fruitful. It didn't ever serve you, because the narcissist was just listening to your words. They were watching your actions. They were testing the pulse of the temperature of you and that relationship. And they were watching you fall apart, because the narcissist did not want to fix anything. This is how the cycle goes around and around. It goes love bomb / euphoric stage, then the devaluation stage when the narcissist knows that they have you. Then you have the discard, or the ending of the relationship, and at times you have a hoover when the narcissist is trying to draw you back into the relationship. Don't ever accept a hoover. But when you were trying to fix the relationship, most likely you were in it deep. You were probably caught up in the trauma bond. You most likely had invested a lot in that relationship. Maybe you did get married. Maybe you did have children. Maybe you did relocate. Maybe you did put them through med school. Maybe you did create a business, or loan them money, or buy them something. When you were in it too deep, that is usually when it's the most challenging part of the relationship, because again, you weren't taught this in school. You can't wrap your head around who the person that perhaps you professed you love them and they told you that they loved you, that they don't love you. They don't love anybody, including any relationship in the past, present, or future. The narcissist is a shallow, hollow, empty person. And what they want to do is take beautiful, bright, shining lights like you, and they want to try and attempt to extinguish them. Now, unfortunately, this does happen at times. Some people have very challenging times in the relationships, and not everyone gets through it. You are getting through it. You're applying the wisdom that is provided for you on the channel and in the community, and you're understanding that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. You also understand that trying to fix a relationship with another person when they don't want to fix anything because they're enjoying your misery, they're enjoying you trying to fix it because they're getting supply from it, and they continue to work on you, and they continue to mislead you and misdirect you and confuse you. But when you realize that that person, they're not going to change, they can't introspect, they won't be accountable, and they believe that it is their right to try to destroy people's lives. Yes, you can play that again. That's what the narcissist does. They want to capture beautiful, bright, shining lights like you, abundant empaths, people with so much promise and hopes of today and the future. And they want to make sure these people do not achieve their goals and their accomplishments and their life's purpose. And that is exactly what the narcissist tries to do. They try to keep people stuck, and the narcissist will not ever work on the relationship. Now, you may say, well, the narcissist, they did tell me that they want to change things and they wanted to improve and that they found Jesus, etc. Okay, well, did they actually ever make an improvement in their life? I would venture to guess no, they didn't. So what they did there is they probably sold you a bill of goods, and they got you back into the relationship, and probably you paid a bigger price tag because maybe that was the second, third, fourth, 10th time you've gone back to the narcissist thinking they can change, thinking you can fix them, thinking you can fix the relationship. You can never do that with the narcissist, because the narcissist knows what they are doing. They don't want to change. They only deteriorate over time, and they want people stuck down in that low vibrational state where they exist. That was you, it was me. Once we break the chains of the trauma bond and we break the cycle of the narcissistic abusive cycle, we understand that the narcissist really did their best to mislead us, to manipulate us, and to try to destroy us. But they didn't, because we're here. As I mentioned earlier in the video, not everybody makes it, but you are here, so you need to be grateful and appreciate that, yes, you're on the planet one more day. That's what I say each and every day. I practice my gratitudes, my I ams, and my thankfulness. Having said all those things, when you're trying to fix a relationship with a person who is not only using you and manipulating you, but also looking for your replacement right in front of you, or maybe even behind their smartphone, that's not a good spot to be in, because you're probably, or you were probably in it so deep that you couldn't even wrap your head around what kind of relationship that was in. Here are a few key points for any relationship that if you believe you need to fix it, you need to run for the hills from. One is if the person is trying to, or doing, if they're parental alienating your children from somebody. In other words, they're not allowing your family members to see the kids. That's if you're married, or maybe you're divorced or trying to get divorced. Parental alienation is one of the most cruel, challenging, trying things, not only for the children, but for the spouses or the parents or the grandparents. That's number one. Number two is gaslighting. Very basic, but yet this is one of the most damaging tactics the narcissist employs. Gaslighting, when you hear it over and over and over again, you lose your sense of self, you lose your sense of reality, and you begin to believe the false narrative of another person who is essentially a puppet master trying to control you. And they do achieve this for the length of the relationship until you break free and you understand that your sense of reality, your version of reality, is in fact accurate. Theirs isn't and or wasn't. They were just trying to keep you stuck down there, and they were enjoying watching you squirm. They were enjoying keeping you trapped. Another thing is triangulation, my least favorite thing these people do. If another person is inserting a third person into your relationship, or claiming that someone else is giving them more attention, or fawning over them, or giving them compliments, etc., then I would run for the hills also, because that is a clear indication that the person is trying to get you to work harder for them, and they're trying to get you to fix the relationship when they know that relationship can't be fixed. So those are just 3 examples of literally thousands that I could share with you. But the tactics of the narcissist will continue to go on. The cycle will also continue to go on. It needs to go on without you, though. You need to really realize that, yes, perhaps you did fall in love with the person who turned out to be the narcissist. Yes, you did certainly try to fix the relationship day after day, week after week, month after month, maybe even year after year. But that relationship only deteriorated. It did not improve. And yes, sprinkled in between there, I'm sure you had some good periods of times. You had some good memories and some good events you attended, or some good celebrations here and there. Sure, every single day wasn't as dark as some of the days, but those challenging days certainly outweighed the good days they had with the narcissist. Now, post-relationship, we now know that the narcissist not only knows what they're doing, but they look for people to recycle, and they look for people who haven't healed to administer more punishment to. They also look for people who do not know their value and their worth. And what they do, what the narcissist does want to do, is they want to find those beautiful people, just like you, a beautiful, bright, shining light, the empath perhaps, who doesn't know about narcissism, and they want to get as close to you as possible, figure out what makes you tick, enter a relationship with you, whether it's business, romance, or friendship. And what they want to do then is slowly insert themselves into your life. This is how the cycle goes on and on and on. And again, when you don't have the wisdom, you don't know what the tools are, and you don't know how to insulate yourself. We now know that going no contact and blocking these people is the path. If you can't do it today, I understand that, but utilize gray rock, become dull and boring. Just like those beautiful rocks behind me on this wall. Become dull and boring. That's what you must do. Another thing is, if you've identified you're in a toxic relationship, maybe even with a narcissist, and you've been trying to fix the relationship and you're not making progress, because you usually don't, and you want to get out of that relationship, create and develop and execute an exit plan. An exit plan is instrumental, it's paramount. It will help you liberate yourself from a relationship where perhaps the narcissist doesn't want you liberated. It will allow you to get your energy back. It'll allow you to get clarity. It'll allow you to get all of your beautiful attributes back, your finances, your health, your status, everything. But this will take time. It will take a lot of time to develop, create, and execute the exit plan. because you need to make sure you have everything lined up perfectly. You need to keep that exit plan close to the vest, and you need to execute it when the time is ready. But when you are in a relationship at all and you need to fix it, that just tells you that something's broken. And when you try to fix it, and you try to fix it over and over and over again, you're essentially banging your head against a wall and you're not making progress. And the narcissist knows this, and they're getting supply from your misery. They're getting supply from you not being able to fix the relationship. And they're getting supply right in front of you when you're explaining yourself to them. That is why oversharing is something you shouldn't be doing, not only with the narcissist, but with anybody. When people have the playbook as to your hopes, dreams, aspirations, your life goals, and etc., and when they know your history and they know what you've accomplished and where you want to go, they have a lot of information there, and they can weaponize that against you whenever they want to. That's what the narcissist does. But there are other people that perhaps aren't the narcissist, that may be jealous or envious of you. Maybe your own siblings didn't quite like the way that you were treated when you were younger, or they didn't want to applaud you for all your accomplishments, and maybe they were jealous and envious of you. If that's the case, by now you've probably figured out that you can't fix those relationships, even if it's your if it's your own blood. Those people are going to live their own life. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. And many times the people that hurt you the most are the closest to you, including immediate family members, whether you're blood related or not. But trying to fix a relationship, if you have to fix a relationship maybe once or twice because you made a mistake and you corrected it and you didn't duplicate that again, or your partner or a friend made a mistake and they corrected it and apologized, okay, well that happens. I understand that. But when you are in a relationship that's headed nowhere but to Destructionsville, and you are on that ocean of manipulation in a tiny little boat, and you're trying to get to shore and you don't know how to get to shore because no one's given you the tools or guided you to get you out of that ocean, you're lost. You don't know what to do. And then lo and behold, one day you find the needle in a haystack, or one day you see the shore way up in the distance and you realize that yes, you can paddle to shore, and yes, you're gonna have to paddle your own boat to get there because the narcissist is not on your boat. They've actually never been on your boat. They probably jumped boats a long time ago, i.e. the new supply. But when you have to fix a relationship over and over and over again, it gets very challenging, very trying, very debilitating, very draining. And that is why so frequently people, they don't get the message many times until it is close to being too late. I'm not saying it's too late, I'm saying it's close, because many people post-narcissistic relationship, what they do is they say, why did I stay in it so long? How come I didn't see the signs? What was I thinking? I can't believe I did this. My life is not what it should have been. Well, I understand all those comments and many more. What I'm sharing there is you're here. You are healing, or you've healed, and you're headed towards the pinnacle of indifference. If you've made it, you now have a very unique skill set, which means you can pay it forward to those loved and trusted ones around you. And you don't have to fix relationships any longer. You can be a mentor. You can offer wisdom. You can provide insight to people that you love and trust. Excuse me, or that if people are asking you. Now keep in mind, the narcissist is everywhere, and they don't want people to heal. They don't want people to see behind the mask, and they do want people to continue to work for them. That is why the narcissist looks for the unpaid helper, the walking apology, the sounding board, the person who will continue to try to fix the relationship despite the fact that the narcissist doesn't want to fix anything, because they need new shiny objects, and they get jaded and bored so quickly with human beings and virtually anything, including pets, cars, trips, anything. They need new. And at one point you were new, so was I. The whole point is right now we are not in a narcissistic relationship, so there's no such thing as new. We are now living our abundant life. We are not fixing a broken relationship. We are not banging our head against the wall trying to change somebody who can't change, and they're enjoying watching you and your life implode. That's what the narcissist does. That's what they're doing right now, wherever they are on the planet. The cycle will continue to go on and on and on. It needs to go on without you. That is why I suggest so frequently to go no contact, etc. But when you're in a relationship and you don't know what kind of relationship it is, but what you do know is you keep on trying to fix it, and you keep on explaining yourself to somebody who turns out to be a narcissist, and they are just gobbling up every word you are saying. Or maybe they're not even. Maybe they're just throwing a rage fit back on you, blaming you for everything, because that's what they do. They blame shift many times also. But when you realize finally that one of two things has to happen, that relationship needs to end one way or the other, meaning you either need to remove yourself from the relationship, or probably maybe you got discarded, or you stay trapped in the narcissistic fog. And that is not a place to be existing, believe me when I tell you. Many people spend a lot of their life in the narcissistic fog and they don't even know what it is. So that's why I want to close up what I shared a moment ago. Many people, or some people, think that they've wasted a lot of their life in that relationship. I don't look at it that way at all. I look at it as a lifelong learning lesson. It's a relationship you had to go through, no matter if it was a day, a month, a week, or 3 decades, or longer. But you broke free, you're out of it now. You got out of it when you were strong enough to get out of it, and you've healed. The healing path is not linear. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, but in your time, you will heal. On top of that, each and every one of us have similar narcissistic experiences with our relationship or relationships, but yet unique to ourselves. So when you got the wisdom is when you were meant to get the wisdom. When you finally went no contact was when you were meant to finally go no contact. The famous expression is, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That is true for each and every one of us on the planet, not just with narcissism, but with so many other subjects. But this video is about narcissism, and it's about insulating and protecting yourself and not trying to fix a broken relationship with a person who is essentially gas pedaling up the abuse, and they're stonewalling you and giving you the silent treatment, and they're doing anything they can to make sure that you don't succeed. Now, before I close the video, I want to let you know that when you are trying to fix a relationship and the other person is listening to you, and you can actually reach common ground and you can achieve what you set out to do, meaning this person says this and they're going to do it and they do it, and you say this and you're going to do it and you do it, and you meet common ground, that's beautiful. That's called being accountable. That's called owning up to your mistakes and perhaps your misgivings. And it's called changing, and it's called growing, and it's called fulfilling another person in a relationship, or fulfilling the relationship with another person. That's not what you get with the narcissist. You get it their way or the highway. And that's how they look at everybody, not just you. They look at people as opportunities. They look at people as weak. They don't want people to succeed. They're always in competition with people. And so when you were trying to fix the relationship, you were doing what you thought was right. Now we understand, post-narcissistic relationship, after we've healed, we now understand if people are going to fit into our lives, they're going to have to jump through many hoops to get to us. But on top of that, we don't need to fix any relationships any longer. We need to focus on ourselves. We need to really conserve our energy for those loved and trusted ones around us. And if we want to be by ourselves, we're by ourselves. If we want to spend time with friends, we do so. If we want to look for romance, we do that. But we do it in a healthy manner. We take our time, we vet people. We believe in ourselves, our instincts, and our intuition, and we pay attention to red flags. And we don't need to be fixing any relationship any longer, because what you've come through, which is the narcissistic abusive cycle, is something that most people don't come through. And most people they can't even wrap their head around what narcissism is. That's not you. You're a very fortunate, galvanized, incredible, grateful human being, because you've beaten the cycle and here you are. Now you're getting your cup full and you're paying it forward if and when you can. That is the path. But you must do it narcissist free, because one more minute in a narcissistic relationship, when you've identified that that's what that person is 1 minute too long. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. And before I close the video, just like this beautiful wall behind me, if you can't go no contact, utilize gray rock. Do not overshare information. Conserve your energy. Do not display your emotions. Don't let the person know that they're trying to wind you up and succeeding, because don't let them. The narcissist will always do what they do. We can't control what they do. What we can do is control what we can control. That is a very, very powerful message. Understand that. Control what you can control. I love you all. God bless you. And I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody. Yay.